Generative AI is helping lenders drive down origination costs while increasing borrower confidence. New products can coach and assist loan officers while offering tools to educate homebuyers. My name is Kimberley Haas, and I will be the host of this Advancements in Technology podcast. For this episode, we spoke with Sundeep Mathur, Vice President of Fintech AI and Business Consulting Services at Tavant. Mathur spoke with us about their new product, LO.ai, which augments the company's Touchless Lending product. He said it's their mission to create the best borrower experience possible.
Maybe we could start by having you tell us a little bit about what you folks are doing over there as far as advancements with artificial intelligence. I know it's been all over the news the last couple of years. We're trying as best as we can to stay on top of it, but everybody's progressing a little bit differently. Everybody has a different take on how they're going to use the technology, how it's going to improve the industry. And I'm hoping to hear from you today a little bit more about what you're doing there.
Sure. So, Tavant is a software development product and services company. We've been around 25 years now, essentially building bespoke solutions. And after the financial crisis, we kind of pivoted to more integrations, right? People aren't building LOSs from scratch anymore, but we do a lot of integration work. So what we do is software development. And so in our world, AI has played a dramatic role in what we do for a living, right? Software development. So across the software development cycle of development, testing, DevOps, even requirements, documentation, everything. So we've seen 40-50% improvement in how we develop software. So we took that learning and said, well, how do we apply this to the business side of the house? Right? How do we apply this to our lenders' organizations? So, helping them to do software better, cheaper, faster, more reliable is one thing, but more importantly, how can it actually impact the business side of the house? And so, what we've tried to do is to sort of put in place, an approach, a program that would help customers to understand, what is AI good for? How can I leverage this? And then, create some use cases, case studies that help them to see how it can be applied and how it is being applied in the industry. And then beyond that, we have taken our product suite, which is called Touchless Lending, and we've created a new augment to that Touchless Lending called LO.ai. And it is applying AI into the borrower loan officer conversation and really providing a professional coach into the loan officer borrower relationship. And so we tackled that because we wanted to do two things. One was to tackle the sales cost of this equation, right? About $12,000 to originate a loan. Half of it is our fulfillment, half of it is sales. The fulfillment side, we've tackled through our Touchless Lending product. This is the sales cost. How can we help drive down cost? But our secondary objective was equally important, was borrower engagement and borrower enablement. We believe very strongly that, a confident borrower making a sound financial decision is inversely proportional to sales cost. So if we can make our borrowers stronger borrowers, build better borrowers, we can further reduce sales cost. Our LO.ai solution kind of has two modes to it. Assistant mode and coaching mode. And so the idea is that in coaching mode, I can take an articulate, good sales guy who knows nothing about mortgages. And basically the coach can coach him through that process. So the coach is basically intercepting the conversation between the borrower and loan officer. As they're speaking, it's intercepting that conversation. And it's taking the questions or things that the borrower is wanting to understand and basically taking them through the AI. But it's dynamic, right? When the borrower and loan officer are having a conversation, they talk about everything, right? The borrower, the loan officer, trying to build a rapport with the borrower, and so as part of that, they talk about, hey, where'd you go to school? What kind of car do you drive? They build that rapport, so the conversation can meander in many different directions. But what our system does is it lets you go in many different directions. It captures that information, but eventually it tries to bring you back to this process. Tries to bring you back to, okay, the loan officer really has two goals. One, establish that rapport, stop him from shopping, right? So I want to have this relationship with you. I want you to stop shopping. And two, is this a sound borrower? And what do I have to do to make this a good loan? And the loan officer takes the borrower through this journey, and that's what our system does. It has a goal. It takes you through this process of trying to qualify you, essentially. And what we've tried to create, we think every lender will be different. Some lenders want their loan officers to do a lot. Some want their loan officers to do nothing. They want them to just take the application, hand it off to someone, move on to the next one. So what we're trying to create is a solution that allows lenders to be anywhere in that spectrum. You can let the loan officer do everything. We can take all of our touchless lending, automated underwriting capability, deliver it at point of sale, and coach the loan officer through this process. Or we can do none of it and just take the application, pass it on to an assistant. But the system will operate in that coach mode. And then in the assistant mode, what it's doing is that these are more for senior loan officers. I'm an experienced guy. I've been doing lending for 30 years. I don't need someone to coach me. But what they can benefit from is still the AI can help you with things like, for example, summarizing the phone call, right? I can take key findings from the phone call and say, okay, here's some follow-up items that I should have created. The AI can help you create more targeted content, right? Collateral material. We talked about 5 different products, but this is the one you really liked. I can create customized content for you that can help you better understand the conversation we had. I can schedule a follow-up meeting. I can schedule, I can take all of the data. So right now what happens today, a borrower and loan officer talk, he says, hey, I'm looking for a refinance, and the loan officer is frantically writing this down on a yellow pad of paper, right? He says, hey, I liked a vacation in Venice. He frantically is writing this stuff down. Well, now the system can just capture all that. As the borrower and loan officer are having a conversation, all of that metadata is captured orally. And so all of that information can be saved, put into CRM, put into the LOS, wherever we want to take it. But that's what the LO.ai system does as they're talking. So there's feature functionality for these senior experienced loan officers, and there's feature functionality for inexperienced loan officers who don't need to be paid at that same degree. And that's kind of the idea, is to be this automated assistant, automated coach to the loan officer.
So just let me make sure I'm hearing this correctly and I'm understanding the process correctly as well. It sounds like when a loan officer, regardless of their experience level, is on the phone with a potential customer, or maybe even a current customer that they're circling back around to, the AI coach or assistant is listening in on the conversation, transcribing the essential parts of the conversation for the loan officer, and then either prompting them with further essential questions, or does it start to fill out some of the forms, or does it just prep everything for that?
It's captured the information. So now I can absolutely start to complete the form. So fill out the 1003, capture this other data if there's metadata around, so capturing 1003 data, straightforward, right? I can orally say something. I captured. I want to refinance my loan. Loan purposes refinance. I want to take out $10,000, cash out refinance, right? I'm going to live in the property, owner occupied. So I'm filling out that data for sure. Absolutely fill out the 1003 data and be able to submit an application. We're also capturing what we're calling personalization data. And that's that soft data that right now the loan officers say, "Oh, you went to Ohio State." Yeah, I went to Ohio State. So they bond over, they establish this rapport, and that information, never goes anywhere other than that yellow pad of paper. Well, now we can capture that information, and maybe there's a use for that downstream, right? There may be other ways to engage with that borrower throughout the life of that relationship in different ways, right? If you think about it, this is what good loan officers do, right? Good loan officers establish this rapport for the life, they want to have this recurring relationship with these borrowers, and they write down that, hey, you've got 3 kids and one's about to go to college, and they keep track of these things. They build their rapport that way. And the other thing that good loan officers do is educate their borrowers. They make them better borrowers. They educate them on what is the complexities of this product and the advantages of a product, or why won't you qualify for a FHA loan, or hey, this is how we qualify you for a VA loan. I mean, these are the loan officers is there to help you understand if the borrower feels trepidation that I'm about to take on my biggest financial decision of my life. um, the loan officer helps you understand this is the implication of what you're about to do. This is what's going to happen if you take this loan and you lose your job. Here's what's going to happen. If you take this loan, lose your job, and your value of your house goes down, this is what's going to happen. They help them to learn um, about mitigation, loss mitigation, default delinquencies. And that's what we want the system to do. We want the system to be able to feed the loan officer this information to help them make the borrower a better borrower, educate the borrower more. And what we're trying to do is to make the system get smarter. So, just like, the math you learn in elementary school, middle school, high school, and college is different. So as you, as a borrower, become more mature, more sophisticated, more confident in your financial decision, the tool gets more sophisticated. So if you're a novice borrower, you don't know what loan purpose means. I'm not going to talk to you about loan purpose. I'm going to talk to you about how do you intend to, are you buying a home? Or are you refinancing a home? And if you don't know what refinance means, we'll explain it to you, right? That's the beauty of the large language models of the AI, that I can tune it up or tune it down based on how well you understood. And I can ask you, if you're a novice borrower, I can explain something to you and I can ask you, was that clear? Was there any aspect of this that was more confusing? And you can have a conversation with me, right? The borrower and the loan officer are having a conversation, the coach is listening in. So the borrower could say, hey, wait a minute, I don't know what you meant by, an AVM. What is an AVM, right? And then the coach can explain it, and we can have articles or videos or things like that helping explain. And if they still don't understand it, they can ask a deeper question, and we can go deeper, because our goal here is to educate that borrower and to the point where they understand what they're doing, right? They have to understand their financial decision that they're making.
Now, as borrowers are talking with these loan officers, does the system have the ability, based upon what they're saying, to like maybe make a match as far as programs go, or down payment assistance might go, or things like that? I mean, because each individual is so unique. And as you know, a good loan officer with 30 years of experience has a huge depth of knowledge when it comes to what products might fit each person. Is the AI there yet when it comes to, like, I'm telling you, Sundeep, a little bit more about myself. I'm telling you about my financial background. Maybe I'm an independent business owner. Is the AI already matching people up with programs that might work for them?
Yep, absolutely. And so one thing to keep in mind, though, at this point in the game, there's always a human in the loop. We're not talking about a situation where there is no loan officer. We do think that someday we will get there for some loans, some borrowers will get there. But for today, we're still talking about loan officer enablement, right? We're talking about a human in the loop. So, but yes, the system, absolutely. The idea is that I should be able to find the best matching product more importantly, the AI can help explain to the loan officer and the borrower why this is a good loan for you. What are the pros and cons? What are the advantages? So today we already have point of sale systems where I can compare products, right? I can give it a scenario and say, okay, tell me the best product for me. And the pricing engines will do that, right? They'll go through, find a bunch of products that you qualify for, give you the pricing, rates, points, fees, all of that stuff. And they'll even give you pros and cons, right? They'll give you some generic stuff. What we can now do is, because the AI understands your scenario, understands maybe your preferences, understands a little bit about your risk based on our conversation we had. It understands your sentiment, understands I might be able to be more intelligent in which products I recommend, but more importantly, I can be far more intelligent in explaining it to you, helping you to understand, why is this product a little better for you? Why is this product maybe not such a good thing for you? Helping you to understand. Again, not advocating option arms, but options arms served a purpose if you understood it, right? If you went in with your eyes open. So that's the idea, right? The AI can help you understand the product and program better, matching you to a product program or offering you a set of product and programs that might meet your needs. Well, there's a lot. All these pricing engines are, they're there, right? They're pretty good at that. What they're not so great at is how do I explain it to you in such a way that you understood it, as opposed to giving you a generic explanation of what are the advantages and disadvantages of an ARM versus a fixed rate. I could give you more specifics in your scenario. Why is it good?
I feel like consumers are going to be a lot more responsive, especially modern consumers, to something that they feel is custom made or tailored to them specifically. Are you finding that that's the response when you're engaging with consumers with these enhanced AI products?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, right? That personalization aspect, is absolutely a core piece of what we are trying to do with AI.
Now, how are you training these models? Because it's my understanding that, especially with generative AI, it comes off the shelf with quite a bit of capacity, right? But then in every industry, especially mortgage, there's so many rules, so much complexity. How are you training these systems? Who are you working with to train these systems, and how is that being done?
So I would use the word tune the systems, right? So
Okay,
we are
two.
not building our own proprietary large language models, nor are we building a mortgage specific one. The public models, the Chat GPTs, the Geminis, the Claudes, those guys, they're pretty powerful. They're already been trained on public information. So Freddie and Fannie guys, FHA guys, everything like that, that it's able to gather, it's there. And when you start to play with these systems, you realize how powerful they really are. Now, again, we're not yet making underwriting decisions with any of this stuff, right? We haven't done any of that, right? That will happen over the course of time. Right now, it's an augmentation, it's an assistant, right? So the current public models for our sales support functions, and a lot of our sort of policy questions, what we're calling knowledge.ai, it's pretty powerful. And so what I would suggest is use the word tune. So we're basically tuning, how do we interact with this thing? We're also so look at it this way. The model, for example, ChatGPT was trained on, let's call it November of 2023 data. So whatever policy Freddie Fannie had as of November of 2023, it's there. It knows about it. Anything beyond that, you need to supplement that information, or your own proprietary knowledge, right? It doesn't know, Guild's products. It doesn't know PennyMax products. So when we implement a solution for one of our clients like that, then we take their policies and put them into a secured world, and we educate this retrieval augmented process is RAG process helps to make the answers better. And So we take our customers' proprietary things in a secured way and help the models come up with better answers. So I would still call it tuning.
How are clients reacting to this? I mean, it's my understanding that people who are working in this field really crave the technology. They want to be able to be more productive with this technology and to capture more information from consumers and stuff like that. But how are your clients reacting to all of this, and what's it like getting everybody on board as we move here into 2025?
So the first step is always getting people over the compliance hurdle, the controls hurdle. And as people get, as customers and individuals and companies get more comfortable, then they start to dip their toe in different areas. And what we believe is that this is just going to accelerate as people get more and more comfortable, as the regulators get comfortable. So we're talking to FHFA about this stuff, and Freddie and Fannie and MBA and other people, anybody that's willing to listen about how this could be help to us. So that's kind of the number one thing, is get people to understand that they can put in better controls, manage this beast in our highly regulated industry, and then people start to think a little bit more open.
When you think about the grander scheme of things, when you look forward 5, 10 years, how do you see artificial intelligence and other technologies improving or changing the game for people within the mortgage space?
So I think one thing is that the guiding light for all of us should be that borrower experience, that borrower engagement. I worked at Freddie Mac a lifetime ago, and they used to have this line of connecting Wall Street to Main Street. And that is the heart of our mission, right? Our mission is to help those borrowers. That is what we're all about. And educating those borrowers is part of that. So if we keep that North Star in our line of sight, that everything we do is for the benefit of the borrower, and the more we can benefit the borrower, the more we as lenders will improve and get better and do more business. That borrower is going to come back to me. So yeah, I think that's maybe one thing to look at. But yeah, a couple of things for sure, right? The easiest one is efficiency, right? The easiest one is there are manual processes that absolutely can be improved. There's real use cases that are happening today, right? The data extraction, indexing extraction. So we're working on, companies are working on the ability to take a document, an unstructured document, a divorce decree, a bankruptcy settlement, right? A very complex legal document, and be able to analyze it, simplify it, answer questions about it. And so the technology will be able to take on, more of those kind of more sophisticated things. So one, I would say we have to keep that North Star in mind. Two, I would definitely say, some of these complex things. I definitely think you were asking earlier about the personalization. That is an important aspect of it. If we keep that borrower in mind, we're trying to solve that borrower's problem. We're trying to get that borrower to be comfortable about this, right, largest financial decision of their life. I think the more we can do that, and the technology will be able to morph to be able to do that. I think that's another big aspect of where the technology will head.
Thank you for listening to this Advancements in Technology podcast. If you would like to share what you are seeing in your market, please reach out to us at info@themortgagenote.org. Once again, my name is Kimberley Haas. Have a great day.